Welcome back to BST,
the podcast where he does all the work and I just show up.
Please like and subscribe because we have a great show lined out for you guys today. Let's get started.
All right, what's our first topic?
The Green Bay Packers, our favorite team, as many of you know, all 6 subscribers of you know, beat the Jacksonville Jaguars narrowly. They barely survived the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 30-27 on a game-winning field goal by new kicker Brandon McManus, his second in as many weeks as he's been here. It was not a very pretty game for the Packers. Jordan Love threw his weekly pick, which we all knew was coming, and it's just become a regular at this point.
It wasn't too.
Yeah, but I mean, he did get injured, so we probably would have seen one later in that game. But the defense did not play well either. They really let Jacksonville kind of march on them, especially in the second half. But Malik Willis came in the game for an injured Jordan Love and got the job done. What did you see?
What did I see? Saw a lot of yards early on and not a lot of points.
Agreed.
They seemed to held Jacksonville pretty good for most of the game. Jordan Love threw the pick, and then McKinney got the pick right after that. But it seemed like we really defense played well, but we only had 10 points to show for it, I think, in the first half. It seems like for as long as I've been watching Packers games, traveling to Florida is never good.
No, yeah, we've always struggled there for some reason. I don't know why.
If you recall, the last time they played in that stadium, the Saints whooped our ass.
Yeah, week 1, 2021. It was, so...
That was an ass kicking.
We don't play well in Florida for whatever reason, so there's that. No. But at the end of the day, with as many upsets that happened in the NFL this week, at the end of the day, I don't care. We won the game, especially in the NFC North, where every win matters. We're second in the division now, but that kind of sets us up for what I really wanted to talk about.
Please tell me we're going to talk about the Bears at some point.
Hey, we will. Don't worry. We will get to that later on.
I don't know anything that we're going to talk about when I come in this room. Seriously, he does all the work. I just show up.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about it later on. But let's quickly get on the matchup this coming week for the Packers. Packers-Lions. It's in Lambeau, but Jordan Love's status is up in the air.
Boy. Well, I don't know. Malik Willis... They move the ball with him.
Yeah. No.
I don't know what the deal is with Love. It's like he's got such a big arm that they just decide to pass. I don't know. Too much Dak Prescott.
Here's my theory for a large portion of the year. He's been somewhat injured, and historically, and you see it with like older quarterbacks too, like Brady and Rodgers. They do not like going under center because they can't move, and I think that's kind of been the case with Love. He hasn't been able to move like he usually can. But I do agree in the LaFleur offense, they are much better playing under center, play action, that kind of stuff than in the shotgun. So I kind of see why it's not that way. But for this offense to function at its highest, Jordan Love has to be healthy. So part of me kind of agrees with just starting Malik Willis because I feel like a 100% Malik Willis may be better in this game than like a 60-70% Jordan Love.
Yeah, and raise your hand if you've ever thought that. Nobody should be raising their hand. Nobody thought that about Malik Willis.
Might be the signing of the offseason from Bayern Gutekunst. If not McKinney. Honestly, against the Jaguars, that game was just the showing out of the 4 biggest signings really with Brandon McManus. Could you imagine going into both of these last 2 games with Braden Narvison or Anders Carlson? No, we would. There's a legitimate belief that if we didn't trade for Malik Willis or sign Brandon McManus, the Packers are 2-6 right now.
Yeah,
we could easily be 2-6 right now. But also, if we sign Brandon McManus at the start of the season. I know we had some legal issues, but if we sign him, we might be undefeated right now because missed kicks have been a problem this year. But still, that was really just a showing of Brian Gutekunst's draft or not draft, but signings and just how good he is at finding talent.
And like they say, you are what your record says you are, and we're 6-2.
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I think this week against Detroit is going to be really tough. I don't.
Well,
Detroit's just a juggernaut. I mean, they put 52 on them. You watch them; they're running trick plays. Like they're throwing with their running backs.
How many yards did Jared Goff have?
I like
under 100 yards, and they scored 50.
If you looked at the box score, you would have thought the Titans won the game.
Man, it's crazy.
And that's just how good they are right now. Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough matchup coming up this week, but I'm excited for it. I really want to just see what this team is made of because we really haven't seen. We've seen them play the Texans and the Vikings, but I think the Lions are just like. They are top 2, and they are probably not 2. They're probably the best.
Hopefully, we have a better showing than we did against the Vikings.
Yeah, hopefully we can just hang with them at the very least. Because if we hang with them with Malik Willis, I'll feel pretty good about where the team is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about the Jets. Boy, are we so very disappointed. I can basically speak for every NFL fan. Even if you hate the Jets, you're probably still disappointed in the showing they have brought out here as of late.
Well, and I mean, I'm a Favre guy, not much of a Rodgers guy as a Packer fan, but definitely appreciate what Aaron Rodgers did for Green Bay. It's kind of tough to see him, struggle like that. But in some ways, I don't know. Look to that last year in Green Bay. This is exactly kind of how he was playing.
Oh yeah,
I mean he
just can't move anymore.
Thought it was Devontae Adams, but not being there, and and they may get it going a little bit, but to lose to the Patriots, that's pretty rough. That used to not be a statement that you'd say. Yeah. Losing to the Patriots was normal.
If we're back to the normal, I guess.
No.
But it's just.
What did Dan Orlovsky say? The teams that had scored at least 20 points, didn't turn the ball over, and held their opponent to under 250 yards were 750-0 going into that game, and now they're 750-1. The Jets are the one.
It's really bizarre, and I'm not going to blame it on the kicker, but if their kicker makes his kicks this year, they probably are above 500 because they probably should have beat the Broncos because of a kick.
Well, I'll tell you.
But they played a lot of close games, and with their talent on their roster, they should probably be winning more of these games by double digits.
Well, I'll tell you, Zerline has proven what they said in Ace Ventura. Laces out.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to that extra point that he missed, the laces were in. They were in, Dan.
Does that really matter?
I mean, he hit it right on the lace. And
that's what they say, but I don't know.
Laces out, so maybe the holder needs to take a little bit of heat in New York.
But regardless, it's almost like Aaron Rodgers is like the black plague in New York. Because if you look, Sauce Gardner is not having a good season. He might have to be called Ahmad Gardner, his real name, after the season, because he is showing no sauce out there.
Name?
Yeah. But he is not playing well right now. Especially on that last drive, he got burned. Just
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, to let Jacoby Brissett drive on you. Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, he stays in the league, right?
He's a great backup, but come on. This is a defense we expect to be top 10 in the league, and they may be in certain metrics, but this is just flat out embarrassing.
It's like all the pundits say. They fired their best coach in the building. So
let's talk about where they go from here, because you have to draft a quarterback at this point. Especially with Rodgers, he may come back, but he's not going to announce that he's coming back till August.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He will drag this thing out until August. And then maybe he'll go retire and live in a cave or something.
I guess, we got half the season left, so we'll see.
It's not impossible to dig out of this hole. We've seen it before, and the thing is, they're very talented. They're a talented team, so their offense. There's no reason their offense shouldn't move the ball. There's really not. And honestly, that's what makes it come down to Rodgers for me. because with that talent, and even on the defense, like the talent on the defense, but I think you got rid of your defensive coordinator really in Saleh. I mean, he was.
If you read the article this morning, I mean, or I guess it was this afternoon. I mean, he's found the elixir of youth. He's Rodgers. He's drinking cayenne pepper and water.
What?
So
what? Who said
cayenne
that? Rodgers?
Pepper, yeah. Cayenne pepper has some pain.
Some more Rodgers potions out here.
It's magic elixir of youth. He's gonna light it up on Halloween.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on. The Chicago Bears.
Oh,
I don't get to cheer often when I'm at work on Sundays, because I don't want to scare any customers or cause a scene. Let me tell you, when the Commanders hit that Hail Mary, I cheered very loudly. He can agree here.
Yeah.
It was. I
should have recorded it.
Yeah, probably.
That would have been great for the channel.
Yeah, it would have been perfect.
We might get one more subscriber if we posted your video.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Let us know if we should start live streaming Packer games.
Well, maybe not live streaming Packer games, but maybe we'll record some video of your reactions live.
That too.
Well, I mean, just in a snippet that you can just upload. I don't know how you do it. I don't do anything for this channel. So however you...
If we catch anything, it will be on this channel because I'm a very loud cheerer. I get very animated and very... I don't even know what the word is.
Crazy.
But, yeah.
It's crazy.
So, yeah. We'll check that out. But, yeah, the Bears. What just a coaching lapse by Matt Eberflus. And that is why I believe he should be on the hot seat right now, even though they're above 500. He, just the complete ignorance in his press conference saying that second to last play where I think it was Terry McLaurin caught like a 13-yard out route to put him into Hail Mary range.
Yeah.
And the ignorance to say it didn't matter. Like that put them in range to hit that against you. And then on the last play, I think Tyreek Stevenson did it on the second to last play as well, and he's taunting the crowd. Well, his back is turned to the football. And, I mean, I get it. Nothing's going to happen in that time, but, a lot of people are saying the guy who caught the football, that was his guy. And I just know if I was a Packers player, I want him cut. I don't care.
It seems like a Jair thing.
No, yeah, I could see Jair doing that, but hopefully not.
We love you, Jair.
Yeah, we love you,
Not that
Jair.
you'll ever see this video, but we love you.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, they didn't play good all game. Let's not act like they deserved to win that game. But in the NFL, you take ugly wins. And I know every single Bears fan would have taken that win and just loved it. But, sometimes the football gods have to restore peace in the universe and make the Bears lose in dramatic fashion.
And Commanders dominated that game. Bears have a good defense, and
they do.
And they tighten up in the red zone, and so you got to be sharp. And they were not ever really sharp in the red zone. So, it kept them around, and it's the perfect example of 60 minutes of football because for about 55 minutes, the Bears were doing nothing.
No, yeah, they were bad.
And suddenly they were there. But a lot of people are killing them for that backup center.
Yeah, it was a bad play too. 9 times out of 10, it probably works out.
It's a little cute, but come on. Swift was killing it for you. Why not just give him the ball?
And that's the thing. It's that's a play that the Detroit Lions run when they're up 52.
Yeah.
In a game. That's kind of the stuff that you run. And I know they've been using that guy as a fullback all season to block, and you want to throw that out there, but it's a yard. Swift would have punched that in. Roshan Johnson would have punched that in and would have held onto the ball. So it's just I don't know. I just feel like Eberflus is in over his head at times. And won't I just don't understand how you completely disregard that second to last play.
Yeah.
And I mean, just what a miracle. I mean,
it was beautiful, really. I loved it.
Yeah, we both loved it. Let's be real.
Actually,
here.
I wish he would just keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Keep doing what you're doing, Eberflus. I mean, it's perfect. Just keep doing that.
That's a big loss for the Bears right there because I believe they have the hardest remaining schedule in the NFL. That's mostly because they haven't even played a division game yet. They play the Packers week 11, so we'll see what happens there. But a lot of Bears fans were not very happy after that, and for good reason. I don't blame them, but we both loved seeing it, and I cheered very loudly.
Oh, yes.
So, let's move on. The Cowboys. Well, I talk about another disaster of a season, the Dallas Cowboys. They made this game close to the end, and ended up losing 30-24, but I mean, the Niners were up 27-10 with like 8-10 minutes to go. I mean, it was over. And the Cowboys got destroyed all night. If the Niners didn't let up like 2 of the most wide open touchdowns to CeeDee Lamb, they probably would have just easily won. But
I had him on my fantasy team, so I wasn't too upset. Yeah. But it did make it close on that second one where I was like, okay, we got the points. but let's now shut them down. You see with the Cowboys, they couldn't really move the ball all night. You get into garbage time where it's really soft defense. You score a few touchdowns, and then when it really matters, you get the ball back down 6, and they go 4-and-out. I think you just described Dak Prescott's whole career.
There. I mean, it's really bad. Time. They can't run the ball, and I mean, you can blame a lot of these problems on Jerry Jones. I mean, he hires Mike McCarthy, and I get it. They've won games in the regular season, but Mike McCarthy is not a good coach. I don't think he's a good coach. I mean, I get it. He was a Packers coach who won a Super Bowl for us. But I think as of right now, in today's NFL, he's not a good coach.
Well, and I would say he's I just think he's another example of some of them that haven't evolved. I think the game's just evolved, and there's some of them that have kind of held on and not really kept pace. That's why it would be interesting if someone like Rex Ryan or somebody goes back into coaching. Some of these guys that have been on TV for a while and get back in and see what they can do.
Yeah,
see if they can evolve. But I don't know. Otherwise, it just seems like all the new coaches are just up and coming coordinators that largely you don't know about until they become a head coach.
No, yeah, 100%. But I mean,
so McCarthy's been a good coach. It's just I don't know.
It just does not look good.
But it's so hard in that city. I just think 100%. Anybody in that seat with Jerry Jones running the show is going to have a hard time.
I mean, Jerry has been pretty good at drafting, and his team, like whoever like runs the show with him in there, I don't know, his son. I don't know, really. But as a GM, he's done pretty well drafting. He's gotten some good players in. But it's almost like he becomes so attached to those being his draft picks. He loves to pay those guys. We've seen it with many players. And then this year, when there's a bit of turnover and like they lose Pollard, they lose all this, he goes back to one of his guys. And he gets Zeke. And Zeke is he's not the same player anymore. He's not. And then you bring in Dalvin Cook. Those are like the 2 players in the league that have completely lost their ability to run the football. And I mean, I don't even know what you do here. I know one of my buddies, he has Travis Etienne in fantasy. He wants him traded to the Cowboys. But I don't think the Jaguars would ever trade Etienne. But maybe. But I feel like if you're serious about this year, you have got to go get somebody. And has Parsons even been paid yet?
I don't even know.
I mean, I would not be surprised if he's gone and going somewhere else. And could it be the Eagles? Maybe. And that would be an absolute nightmare for Cowboys fans. I mean, it's a disaster right now. And I don't even know how you escape just Jerry and him just being like he doesn't want to take any fault at all. It's just a horrible situation. And as much as like I love it because the Cowboys suck, I kind of feel for Cowboys fans because their GM is the biggest story of their team. That's not, I guess, not our GM, but their owner.
He's a GM.
He is also GM, but like you just don't see that.
Yeah.
You don't see that around the league. You don't see, I mean, the closest thing to it is like David Tepper for the Panthers, and that's because he like threw a drink on somebody. It's Jerry every week coming out and saying something he probably shouldn't. And just like hyping up the team like in the offseason saying, oh yeah, we're all in this year. Well, they are not all in.
That's because the GM of any team went out and said what they say or what Jerry says on the radio would get fired.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one. I mean, he's the guy. So
there's no GMs with radio shows.
And even like and owners. It's just like it's just a weird situation. I don't know like who, I mean, obviously Jerry's not going to give up any power until he unfortunately passes, probably. I don't see a scenario where he gives up GM duties before that. So, I mean, I think he just needs to like look himself in the mirror and just be like, this ain't working. We need to switch it up.
He's 82 years old. It's not happening.
No,
so.
True. I mean, he's pretty full of himself.
Until there's a coup.
Yeah.
Or the family revolts or whatever.
I'm surprised Cowboys fans haven't revolted already. You know. I'm surprised they're not like just in the streets protesting.
I think you're used to it by now.
True. But I mean, I think most years they're pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like they've been good. They go to the playoffs, but like this year the NFC is really good.
They've been good. So we'll see what they do in a second.
Yeah, I don't know, but let's move on. The NFL playoff picture, let me pull it up here real quick. Well, first off, let's talk about the 1 seeds. Obviously, you have the Chiefs on the AFC side.
Future Super Bowl winner.
I disagree, but
Repeat. It's happening.
I think the 2 1 seeds are the 2 favorites at this point. I think they're the 2. Like, okay, these are the ones you bet on to try to make it to the Super Bowl. But, yeah, the Chiefs, I mean, 7-0, it has not been impressive. I would say the Lions, 6-1, has been much more impressive. But they just find a way to win. And
they're just going to win.
Maybe.
They will.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. Because I just want to see them play Buffalo. If they go out and they beat Buffalo, then I'm like, all right. They'll probably win.
The problem is it's all going through Kansas City. It's all going to Arrowhead.
Yeah,
or
probably.
Whatever they call their stadium now.
But the thing is, if they beat Buffalo, they're probably going undefeated. I mean, who's beating them? That's the thing. So, do I think they probably, if they play how they're playing right now, do they probably win the Super Bowl? No. Because you got to go through like 2 tough AFC teams, and then you got to go through probably the Lions or somebody else in the NFC. And I don't think with how they're playing right now, they would do that. Yeah. But we saw last year they really improved in the playoffs. Well, so who knows?
It'll take who's playing well at the right time.
Yeah. But like in the 2 seeds, Texans and Commanders. Commanders are a really good story. I don't know if they'll actually make a run in the playoffs, but I think they've kind of like, it's them and the Eagles in the East, obviously, because the Giants suck and the Cowboys are bordering suck. And so I think if they can like beat the Eagles and kind of hold off the Eagles a little bit, I think they could be a fun story. But I believe they're going to trade for a corner so they can bolster up their roster a little bit going into the playoffs. But I think right now they're pretty much a playoff lock. Just because, like, I think, what's their record? 6-2. I mean, if you're 6-2 and you're leading your division by now, you're probably going to make the playoffs. So
comes down to the division play. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, and the Texans, I'm not totally convinced about the Texans. I mean, just today they confirmed Stephon Diggs tore his ACL, and without Nico and without Diggs, that's a depleted wide receiver.
Plus, Aaron Rodgers is going to blow him up on Halloween. So.
Oh my goodness! Again.
Yeah. telling you.
He has way more confidence in the Jets than I do.
Youth.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Texans will have an O-line. I think it could be very problematic, but for now, they're the 2 seed. At the 3 seeds, you got the Falcons and the Steelers. I think the Falcons have really separated themselves in their division. I don't think the Buccaneers are going to...
I think those 3 seeds are going to flip. Or they're not going to be 3 seeds.
Probably. I think the Falcons probably win their division, though. And it's just going to be about, can they get the 3 seed? Or even, I don't think they'll get the 2 seed, but if they can get the 3 seed and just stay above wherever the NFC West division champ finishes. But I think the Falcons basically have won that division already because, I mean, the Buccaneers losing Godwin, and I don't know how long Evans is out, but I think if he's out even like 3 more weeks, those could all be losses.
Baker's leading the league in touchdown passes, man.
I know, but I'm saying the Falcons have already beat them twice. Like, that's big in your own division.
No, you don't have to play him again.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, that's going to be tough. And the Steelers are playing good football right now.
Let Russ cook, man. Just let him cook.
I'm not totally convinced, to be honest, that, like, their offense can carry them very far. And, I mean, as good as their defense played against the Giants yesterday, the Giants still kind of moved the ball on them a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying, like, their defense is bad or anything.
Danny Dimes, man.
But I'm just saying, like, the Giants moved the ball a little bit. I'm not totally convinced on the Steelers, but right now, they're the 3 seed.
They're not going to be, though.
The 4 seed in the AFC is the Bills. I think the Bills will probably make it up to the 2 seed. It'll kind of depend on that tiebreaker with the Texans if they finish with the same record, but I think the Bills will probably make it up to the 2 seed. Texans finishing in like the 3 seed, and then probably the Steelers or the Ravens at the 4 seed. But then you got the Cardinals. I mean, who would have thought the Cardinals would be leading the division through 8 weeks? I mean, that is just insane.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm cheering for it. They got a bunch of cool players, and Kyler Murray, when he's on, he's on.
They might be 2 years away.
Yeah, I know. But he's special when he is playing well. At the 5 seed of the Broncos, who would have thought that?
Bo Nix? I don't know.
I mean, I would have not thought that, would you?
No. They didn't make any changes on defense yet. They now play defense. I don't get it.
I know, yeah. It seems like since they got 70 dropped on them by the Dolphins, they've really kind of just like locked in on
That'll
defense.
motivate you.
Yeah. And the Packers at the 5 seed, they vaulted the Vikings with the win, and the Vikings lost. So I don't know if the Packers can win the division, but maybe. I think whoever wins the division in the North is going to be the 1 seed probably. So it's going to be interesting if somebody can take down the Lions. I don't think the Packers will, but I think the Packers are a playoff team. But it's just going to depend on where in those seeds and where do they have to go on the road. Yeah, I mean, I've heard Cowherd say this. Take that Packers offense on the road in a dome. Go anywhere in a dome. Go to Atlanta in a dome.
Just not to love interceptions.
Yeah, no, so. we need to clean those up. But the 6 seeds, you got the Ravens and the Vikings. The Ravens, really disappointing loss. But I think they'll be okay. I mean, this happens every year. Ravens just lose a game mysteriously. And their
player division, it's tough.
Yeah, their defense is kind of their defense is kind of concerning, especially their pass defense. But they just traded for Deontay Johnson today. That might do something. I don't really think he'll do a lot, but
won't help their defense.
No, but who knows? I mean, they could challenge the Steelers definitely, especially since they haven't played yet. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah. The Vikings at number 6 are the 6th seed.
It's crazy. They were undefeated.
I mean, yeah, they were undefeated, the 1 seed, and now they dropped all the way 6 seed. Just shows how good the NFC North is and how good the NFC is right now.
Yep.
So, I mean, the Vikings are a good team. Part of me kind of, like, it seems like Darnold is really good in, like, the first couple of drives when the plays are, like, scripted and he knows what's going to happen and, like, they're running in rhythm. But then, like, second half Darnold and the team as a whole has not played well. And of late, the Vikings defense has not been the same one that we saw earlier in the year. So, I don't really know.
More film.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. The Chargers are the 7th seed in the AFC. I mean, they're just a tough physical football team under Harbaugh.
They'll go as far as Herbert can carry them.
No, and they might do something, but I don't know. I mean, they're not going to win the division, obviously, but we'll see what happens there. Eagles as a 7th seed. I mean, like, Eagles as a 7th seed, that's how good this conference is. I mean, 5-2. They handled the Bengals, but the Bengals aren't very good, in my opinion. And we'll
Joe
see.
Burrow.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's good.
No, yeah. And then kind of on the bubble, we'll just talk about a few teams. The Bears are there. I mean, you could count a few losses in their upcoming schedule. It just depends on how they do against the division. They have 6 games against the division.
Niners will get McCaffrey back. They'll climb that list.
It's happened before. The Niners have done relatively bad, and then they kind of have a late season push, and they'll probably end up making it.
Bengals have often been a second half team. So
yeah, I mean, Bengals are only 9th, so it's not impossible for them to climb back into this thing, but they're going to have to really focus to do.
I think it's basically just says it's all wide open. So
no, for the most part, yeah. I mean, teams that are like probably out at this point. I mean, let's talk about the Rams. They could make a push here. Their division is not very strong right now, so they might make a push into the playoffs. But it'll be very interesting. And the Cowboys, they're done for. Let's be real. All right, let's move on here. Alex Ovechkin, the guy on the wall right there. 30. Literally, I had to update our little graphic here because I wanted to check because I knew they were playing tonight. I wanted to check where he's at, and he literally scored 2 goals today. So I think it's a sign that he probably will break this record this year. But he's 38 goals away from Gretzky's record, which is like huge because that was like talked.
Yeah, I don't know how many out there know much about hockey. Hockey.
But we want to talk about it because nobody talks about hockey, but we like hockey, especially playoff hockey. So that's when hockey will kind of ramp up on this channel.
How long has that? Anybody? Hey, maybe one of our 6 subscribers in the comments, you can let us know how long that record has.
It's been forever.
Gretzky was in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
But what was the record prior? What did he beat? Gordie Howe? Gordie Howe had the goals. So I mean, it's a. I don't know if the fans out there realize how impressive
This is insane.
How impressive Gretzky's stats are. I'd say the goals was certainly the most attainable or reachable record of his out there. But I mean, nobody's touching assists or total points.
No, that's
Second
untouchable.
place is like.
But people thought like this, the goals record was almost untouchable.
Yeah, but so I mean, testament to Ovechkin. I mean, but he's going to do it in. It's going to take him more games.
I don't think he's going to do. I don't think he's going to do it this season. I mean, he's going to have to get 38 more goals. And that's going to put him at like the top of the league again.
He'll get it. He'll get it this year or next year.
I think he's going to. It's going to take him a season or 2 to get it.
Yeah,
but.
Ovi's well deserved.
He's not the same player he was. He can't really like.
He's gotten older.
Yeah, I know, but like he can't really like create.
He needs to hit up Aaron Rodgers.
Drink some of the cayenne pepper water.
Get some of that.
Yeah, I mean that would probably make him score 50 this season.
After Halloween. Yeah,
yep.
He'll be on board.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk about a little hockey and stay tuned for more like April-ish when the playoff race starts heat up. The Dodgers and the Yankees. Let me check the score right now because they're playing right now in Game 4. Yankees are up 5-3, so we kind of wanted to discuss if the Yankee season is over.
Yeah,
they're up in this game, but the Dodgers have scored runs at will at times.
You're not beating them.
So
you can't beat them 4 straight games.
I mean, it's really just like a disappointment for the Yankees because I mean, this is the first time they made it since 2009.
You're an Astros fan. How's it disappointing?
Well, I'm just trying to stay unbiased here. I mean, I hate the Yankees. I don't like the Dodgers either, but I mean,
I was hopeful of a 7-game series.
Yeah,
but not going to happen.
They just can't score. Like, I don't know why Judge is the most unbelievable hitter in the regular season. He's like hitting 300 with tons of home runs, tons of RBIs, all the stats, OPS, all that stuff, and he just can't do it.
He's in his head too much.
I mean, I guess, but it's just
work the task, Judge. Just work the task.
But,
okay, just hit the ball.
It's really disappointing because it's that great of a player. You really hope that he would show up in the playoffs to make this like a heavyweight battle, like it was like meant to be. But
the Subway Series might have been better.
No, I mean I'm willing to believe that the Mets or the Padres probably beat the Yankees too. So I think the AL was kind of weak this year.
Yeah,
I don't think it was as battle tested as the NL.
Well, just look at the Dodger lineup. I mean it's
unbelievable.
It's like who do you pitch around? You can't pitch around anybody.
No.
So,
but I mean, and they've just scrapped together pitchers this year. They've been super injured. It's been an impressive year for the Dodgers, but I mean, these are the two highest payrolls in baseball. What do we expect? These are the teams that should make it, but it's just been disappointing from the Yankees.
Well, they were the two best teams. Yankees guys just haven't shown up.
No,
except for Juan Soto.
Yeah, Juan Soto's the only guy. But I mean,
Soto and Stanton.
Juan Soto isn't under contract after this year. I mean, does he leave New York? I don't know.
You better sign him, New York.
Yeah, I mean that
guy's offense will leave.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't really know where New York goes from. Two New York teams. I mean, New York is kind of just in shambles right now, except for Buffalo, New York. They're doing pretty good. Yeah. But right now, it's just I
think Jets and Giants have combined for 7 touchdowns in New York this year.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame scored that many in MetLife.
We were there for Giants-Vikings.
Week 1.
Week 1 at MetLife.
It was bad.
It's the worst football I've ever seen.
The fans there boo a lot.
Those fans are intense. If you get an opportunity, 6 subscribers watching this, if you get an opportunity to go to MetLife, you should go. Yeah, it's a great
cool stadium.
Environment. The people were intense, but really awesome.
They were nice. They were really nice.
I've never been hugged by fans as we left because they appreciated watching the game with us.
Yeah, it's definitely just kind of like a family feel.
Definitely.
Like everybody's there and everybody knows each other. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was bad football. The Giants suck. They hate every Giants fan hates the Giants right now. Yeah. So that's beside the point. I don't know if the Yankees win this game. If they do, they go up 3-1. It probably goes back to LA and the Dodgers win.
So there's one more game, and there's this game and another one in New York. So
is there?
It's a 2-3-2. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean,
so the Dodgers are winning it in New York.
Yeah, probably
either tonight or tomorrow.
And if they don't, and they get back to LA up 3-2, they're winning it there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees are not winning this series. I do not care. So we're just going to act like the Dodgers are the World Series champions. And congrats to the Dodgers. This is what you're supposed to do when you're the best team in baseball. Yeah. You haven't for a while.
Right.
So congrats to Dodgers. I don't like you, but you know what? Congrats to the Dodgers. All right, let's move on. Well, living in Boise, Idaho, it is extremely good and exciting and stuff like that to watch Ashton Jeanty run the football. He plays for the Boise State Broncos. If you don't know, look up his highlights. He's absolutely insane. That may just be the bias speaking in me, but before this week, when he kind of had a tougher week, I mean, he was head of the Heisman odds. He's dropped now. I believe he's like 4th, which shows. I mean, of course, he plays the Mountain West, so he's not going to have the same recognition, but still.
We're already kind of resigned to the fact he's not going to win the Heisman.
No.
But, it would be crazy for him to continue on the run he's on. I think he's through how many games they played? 6 games?
Yeah, or something
7
like
games,
that.
Whatever point they are through the season, he's like double what Derrick Henry,
all the past Heisman,
all the past running backs that have won the Heisman. He's got twice as many yards, twice as many touchdowns through this. Now people are going to say it's the Mountain West. You're playing, lesser competition. There's truth to that.
Yeah.
For sure. But you got to also realize teams are showing up, game planning to stop him.
Yeah, he's
They're
facing
gearing
like,
up to stop him.
he's like
and
8, 9,
still,
10-man boxes.
He still is. And yeah, I mean, they're doing that for those other running backs, but also those ones that we mentioned that have won the Heisman before, they had a lot of better talent around them.
Better offensive line. I mean,
better offensive line.
You watch Jeanty run. I mean, that offensive line is not blocking very well. I mean, he's facing guys near the line of scrimmage, and I've just never. I mean, I haven't really watched very much college football, but I've just never seen a running back in college football make people miss like that. And just like a guy's on him, and he's off of him. Nobody can tackle him.
It's fitting that we're approaching Halloween because what's his nickname?
Michael Myers. Watch him stand in the backfield. It looks like Michael Myers.
It's crazy. He doesn't look ready at all, and then he just blows by you. So.
Especially in Boise, when like growing up, the Statue of Liberty play was like, we always ran that on the playground because that was like big. So like, I feel like Jeanty, like he said that he wanted to stay in Boise State to make an impact and like a legacy, leave a legacy. He's definitely going to do that. Like this is a guy that people in Boise are going to be talking about for like generations.
On the blue turf.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the greatest, one of the greatest Boise State players ever, probably. And I mean, it's going to be interesting where he goes in the NFL draft. I mean, he's probably going to leave college this year. I had to guess. That's what everybody's saying is going to happen. And I'm very worried he's going to go to the Dallas Cowboys because, first off, they love Boise State players. Look at their history. They've drafted a ton of Boise State players. And the Cowboys need running back more than a human needs water. It's bad right now. So, especially if the Cowboys suck, because I think Jeanty might go like top 10-ish. That he might fall right in the Cowboys' laps.
It's not looking good.
And I would hate that because I want to cheer for this guy in the league.
He'll end up being a Cowboy.
But it's like, I don't know if I can cheer for him if he's on the Cowboys. But yeah, as far as contact balance goes, breaking tackles, I mean, just speed in the open field, long touchdown runs. I've never seen anybody in college do it better. I think he should win the Heisman this year. He's not going to because he's in the Mountain West. And if he doesn't break Barry Sanders' record, he's probably not going to. But Boise State, they can make a playoff run here. Let's not forget to talk about that.
Well, maybe that'll be the exposure that he needs.
I mean,
although I think the Heisman's wrapped up by then, but
I mean, this is also not only is Jeanty really good this season, Boise State is really good this season. I think they're 15 in the AP poll now, and it's just like, I mean, this is the best Boise State's been since like Kellen Moore, and I mean, they pretty much control their own destiny to get that group of 5 spot and then 12 seed in the college football playoff.
And then go beat Texas.
Yeah, probably. I mean, not probably, but they'll probably lose to Texas.
They'll play Texas. But
I mean, that'd be insane
be cool.
if they won, but I don't think they will. Yeah. But it'd just be cool to get there because finally, like, your hometown football team actually has a chance to, like, I mean, that's my biggest problem that has been my biggest problem in college football is, like, you're watching teams that just have no chance to win at all.
Well, and I think one of our subscribers is an Ohio State fan.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of them. One of the 6.
I can't remember.
Is an Ohio State fan. But, I mean, if they're listening, I mean, what are your thoughts on Boise State playing Ohio State?
I mean,
would they beat Ohio State? What do you think?
You better stop Jeanty. That's all I know. You better stop him. You never know. He might run all over you. He's run all over Oregon, and Oregon beats you guys. Ooh. So I don't know.
That is some definite Boise State logic right there.
Yeah, that's that's what we've been using for generations right there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Boise State can make a run here and if Jeanty can win the Heisman. I'm definitely pulling for it, obviously, but are my hopes high? Probably not, but we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching episode 2 of the Bracken Sports Talk podcast. Please like and subscribe.
And put in the comments, what would you like us to talk about?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we know literally nothing, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, so, we'll just have fun and we'll talk about it, and we'll give our 2 cents. They're probably not good takes, but hey, you never know. You never know. Yeah, they are takes. That's all that matters at the end of the day. But yeah, have a good Halloween. I don't know when you'll be watching this video. It might be on Halloween. It might be tonight. It might be tomorrow night. I don't know. But have a happy Halloween. We'll see you next week probably. Please like and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you want to be notified. I don't really care. You don't have to do any of these things. I don't really care. But yeah, have a happy Halloween and have a good one.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe. It's scary.